Season 2 of the action-packed The Umbrella Academy recently premiered on Netflix, and it's already been seen by over 45 million households. And if you haven't seen it, you especially should check it out because it's set around the JFK assassination right here in Dallas. Canadian comedic veteran and actor Ken Hall returns for Season 2 as Commissioner Herb and also provides the motion capture for the family's caregiver, chimpanzee Pogo. Hey, Ken.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh man, so thrilled to talk with you. I did watch entire Season 2 over last Saturday, and it was fantastic. You did a really great job. How have you been these last 6 months?
Oh, wow. A lot has happened in the last 6 months for sure. Generally, I'm pretty good. I live in Toronto, Canada, and things have been very obviously different, shall we say. But generally, I'm pretty good. I've been doing a lot of online teaching. I teach at all the improv theaters here in Toronto, the Second City, Bad Dog, Social Capital, the Assembly. And so life is different, but in the same way, it's still kind of the same. And it feels like one really long day. So
I get that. I definitely get it. Well, we're going to talk about your teaching later because I'm really interested to hear about what you have to say about being mindful. But let's dive into Season 2. Now, for those who are not familiar, this series is based on the award-winning comics and graphic novels created by My Chemical Romance's Gerard Way. The second season is set in the early 60s, right here in Dallas. Did I just give it all away? I hope I didn't.
Too much. No, that's great. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, so how much research went into, of course, we were talking about our town right here, our city that we love so much. Did y'all ever make it to Dallas to do a little more research?
I unfortunately didn't get a chance to get to Dallas. I wanted to, but I think they went for like a weekend. It was a very relatively short period of time. And of course, it wasn't the entire cast that was going down there because we shoot a lot of stuff here in and around Toronto. So it certainly gives the impression that you're in, downtown Dallas, for example. But it's surprising what can actually be shot in different locations.
I call that TV magic right there. Now, you were Commissioner Herb. You were also the motion capture for Pogo the chimp. You were the body. Give us an idea of a little behind the scenes of becoming a chimpanzee.
It was a great opportunity. I've done a lot of prosthetic work in my time as an actor and such, and I had the opportunity to do motion capture and to play the body, not just of a talking chimpanzee, but also he's elderly. As we can see in the video here, he walks with a cane. He's more frail, and so it's splitting the difference between a personified chimpanzee and who's also one that's a geriatric chimpanzee at the same time. So it was a really cool challenge to embody that.
I'll tell you this, Pogo became one of my favorite characters, hands down, aside from, of course, the family. Now, Ken, you're sitting down right now. There you stand at 4 feet 9 inches. Would you say that Hollywood is becoming more accepting to actors who are physically different like you are?
Yeah, I'm 4'7" 3/4.
Forgive me,
which is great. No, it's funny actually. For the longest time, I was like, I thought it was 4'9", and then I remeasured myself. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm 4'7" 3/4. I think because I think I had shoes on initially when I did that, and I wanted to have more height, I think, for so much of my life, because I've always stood out in so many ways. And yet at the same time, finding improvisation and working in film and TV, for me, I've actually found that my uniqueness, my physical uniqueness, has actually been such a great asset. And so for me, it's really nice to be in a place where you get to embody that difference. And I think people are responding well to that as well. I mean, again, with so much change that's happening societally, with Black Lives Matter, for example, and LGBTQ, it's so great to have diversity reflected on film and TV. And so I think that that's going to be more of the trend to see people as just people. And these differences, for me, I don't, there's so much more than just what we just see. There's so much under the surface. And that being said, to have other stories that incorporate these kind of differences are stories that we haven't really heard. And for me, that there's a lot of excitement to be part of that conversation and to be in this time that we're in.
Ken, you are so impressive. You just blown me away, and you're absolutely right. That is a uniqueness, absolutely it is. And on top of that, we've unfortunately run out of time, but the fact that you're teaching others, you're teaching classes about being mindful right now, especially in the middle of a pandemic, is just incredible. You are very, very special, and such a thrill to talk with you. I will keep my fingers crossed that we can see season 3 for the Umbrella Academy, and I hope you'll be a part of that. So, Ken, thank you for talking with us this morning.
My pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
Stay safe in Toronto.